Welcome, welcome, welcome to Counsel of the Day with Shanrae. And this is our theme song for this week. I do not own the rights to this song. I do not own the rights to this song. This is our theme song for this week. What's Love Got to Do with It by Tina Turner. Good evening, good evening. Please like and share as you come in. Good evening, good evening. So glad to have you join me tonight. This is our love series for the month of February, and this week's topic is love outdated? But this is our theme song for this week. What's love got to do with it? A lot of people feel that way. What does love got to do with it? So excuse me, I'm multitasking. Yes. So glad to see you all. As you come in, please like and share. Hello, Martha. How are you? We got the diva on. The diva is on. So glad to see you. Good evening, Latoria. How are you? Please like and share as you come in. Please like and share. This is our theme song. This is our theme song for this week. What's Love Got to Do with It by Tina Turner. I do not own the rights to this song. I do not own the rights to this song. All right, I'm going to get started because this 30 minutes is going to go by very, very quickly. So I'm going to turn this off. All right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, and please like and share as you come in. And if you would, this is an open forum, so I welcome all of your feedback for this evening. I am a counselor. My degrees are in psychology, and so I say this. I'm a Christian counselor. I say this every time I get on. So as we get started tonight, I want to start with my disclaimer, and then we're going to move on from there because our time is short and it is limited. And this week's topic is love outdated? So I want to go on. I'm glad to see that, Latoria. So glad to see that. Okay, so my disclaimer says, please be aware that due to the nature of the technology that I'm using, there can be no assurance of confidentiality when using this online service. It should also be noted that due to changes in policies, that all replies are to be used as advisory and informational only and will not constitute an official determination. Information provided by myself or any other leader or counselor services are subject to the limitations of current and available material. So the final responsibility for successfully achieving a goal rests with you, the individual. So information online is designed to be helpful. However, this information changes frequently. It is recommended that you, the individual, will consult another physician, will consult another specialist, another religious leader, or another counselor to aid in your overall behavioral wellness. So I am so glad to see you all tonight. We're going to get started with our topics. And this week's topic is love outdated? Is love really and truly outdated? And so again, this is an open forum. Hi, Michael Grace. How are you? We want to go on and get started. I want to start with my scripture text for the month, which is found in 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 8. And this is the NIV version. And it says, above all, love each other deeply, because love covers a multitude of sins. Hi, Smith. Hi, Rena. How are you? So I want to go on and give the definition of love. I'm going to give the definition of lust, and then we're going to go into our topic for this evening. So love, I have the three different definitions I have for love. Is one, an intense feeling of a deep affection. Number two, a great interest and pleasure in something, which is a noun. The third one is to feel a deep romantic or sexual attachment to someone, which is a verb. Now, our two definitions for lust. One is a very strong sexual desire. Number two is to have a very strong sexual desire for someone. All right, so we're going to go on and get started because, again, good evening, Wenna. How are you? Good evening. Hey. All right, we want to go on and get started because, again, we have 30 minutes and it's going to go by quick. So the question for this week is love outdated? outdated. And so the research, when I do my research, I try to look at both sides. The sides of a person who is for or pro, whatever the topic is, and then I have to research the side of the person that's against it. And so I'm going to be giving you all, hi Robert, how are you? I'm going to be giving you all both sides with this topic. Is love outdated? Now, again, because I'm a Christian counselor, that is my foundation, and I do believe in love, because that is the foundation of my belief system, which is love. So this is the top 6 definitions of love that everyone should know. So let me break this down, because I always do my oh, Winna, how are you? I always do my research through other theorists and other consultants. So this is by Miss Lisa Smith. Okay, so people say that love is pure, which we do say that. Love is painful, it's sweet, and it's dreadful all at one time. So the truth is that love is a basic necessity in everybody's life. We know it is. So everyone needs to be loved to live a proper and a healthy life. Love has various different definitions, which we're going to go into 6 of them after this. Hi, Jewel. Love is a variety of feelings, emotions, and attitude. And for some, love is more than just being interested physically in someone. It's an emotional attachment. So love is more of a feeling that a person feels for another person. People often confuse love and lust. And I just gave you the definitions above. So love, again, means to be deeply committed and connected to someone or to something. And the basic meaning of love is to feel more than liking someone towards someone. It is a bond that is between two people, that two people actually share. So here's a few things that we need to avoid when we're building a relationship. This is a new relationship here. So like being too demanding. And there's a song out there. Hey, Jewel. There's a song out there, En Vogue, where they sing, oh my God, it just slipped my mind. But En Vogue nailed it. And Brownstone, the group Brownstone nailed it. When they did their song, they still play it, and it just slipped my mind. Brownstone, it'll come back to me later, but En Vogue and Brownstone both wrote some love songs, and En Vogue talked about being too demanding, and Brownstone talked about if you're gonna love me, then you have to show it, say it, do it. That's what Brownstone said, but En Vogue talked about the first thing, I wanted too much time. That was them. So they both wrote about their perspectives of love, and they both nailed it through their individual songs. So you need to understand that your partner had a life before you entered it, and you cannot ask them to give up that life the moment that you enter their lives. So they have their priorities, and your partner cannot give you attention 24/7. So understand it, respect it, and don't expect them to change their schedule completely because they fell in love with you. Number 1, the first thing concerning love is love is never rushing into a relationship. So you have to give time to yourself and to your partner. Take things slow. Know their likes and dislikes. Analyze that would be you. Analyze that would you be willing to share a common bond in the following years with this person. Every person has habits that would be annoying to you. So think, would you still be sharing the same bond when you see the dark side of that person? So this is something they want you to think about. Number 2, she said, yes, Latoria said, yes, they did. Hold on. She said, prove it. Yes. Okay. You talking about Brownstone. If you love me, say it. If you love me, prove it. That's right. Good evening, Veronica. So the second thing is love is not being jealous. There is no room for jealousy and possessiveness in cases where true love is really there. Being protective is a part of a relationship, but there should be a healthy understanding. Being too much involved can make the other person suffocated in this relationship. So they may be having an ex with whom they share an understanding as a friend, but if that didn't work out between those two when they were dating, that is the reason why they moved on and now are with you. Now, I have my opinion. Jill said, is a job like you in jail. Love is like a job and like you're in jail. Ooh, I'm going to focus on the positive when it comes to love. It's like a job. It takes work. You're absolutely right, and it feels like you're in jail. I love it, Jules. I love it. Okay. So number 3 said, love is giving yourself a chance. So just hold on. I'm seeing some more comments. Is exactly like the way you wear your own finger. It goes around and around with no way out. Jules, I'm going to have to bring you on here, and we're going to have to open up. I need to figure out when I'm going to bring you on, because it's like that ring on your finger you said. Yeah, it's like the ring on your finger. It goes around and around and around with no way out. That is too much. Oh, my gosh. Number 3, love is giving yourself a chance. So just because you both had a conflict in opinion about something does not mean that things won't work out. So give yourself a chance. Your perception and your partner's perception may differ, but sometimes, and that is what makes life exciting, the 2 different perspectives. Number 4, love is to stop expecting. I do not agree with that. Okay, I'm going to read it because I have to give you the pros and the cons of the research. But I do not believe in that. Love is to stop expecting. And I'm going to read why they're saying this. So stop expecting doesn't mean to give up on you. But do not expect your partner to do things exactly what you thought they would be doing. It is not right. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. Your expectations in your relationship may be different from what your partner's expectations of you are. So respect the fact that they are a little different from you. And the more you try to change a person and try to make them act according to you, the less attached they will be with you. I think it depends on the actual scenario. I feel like if the person is very irresponsible, or if they live a very dangerous type of life or something like that, yes, please expect them to change, because if not, you and your household will be affected by irresponsible behavior patterns that need to be changed. And I'm just going to say that as a general overall statement. Yes, even with love, you must, if someone has risque habits or something like that, don't ever stop expecting them. Don't ever stop holding them accountable for coming up higher and becoming mature and responsible. And that's how I'm just going to phrase that. Now if you're just controlling and stuff, that's just over the top. Number 5 says, to love is maintaining privacy. So with social media readily available to share all of your problems and people ready to jump to your rescue, we tend to discuss issues over the internet more than we do in person. Never, ever, ever do that. Maintain your privacy in your relationships. Talk out the issues with your partner. Don't use that platform of social media to complain about something that is wrong between the two of you. A little privacy to your relationship is required. Now, this has always been one of the main, good evening, Miguel. That has always been one of the main issues in any type of relationship, especially a couple or a spousal relationship. Before social media broke out and became what it is today, people used to get on the phone and call and tell people about their business, or they would meet up in their little friend circles and talk about their business. And it's one thing if you have a friend that is a confidant and you can trust them to whatever you're sharing with them, that it'll stay between you two. But it's another thing like this, what I know, I witness it a lot on social media, how people are just blasting their personal business, and that is not healthy. Whether it's one person in a relationship doing it or it's both, it is not healthy. You're involving people into your personal life, and it will never, ever, ever solve whatever issue that's going on. So please show maturity in that area. Jules said, that's right. Keep your business to yourself because don't nobody else care. And you're absolutely right. Really and truly, they really don't care. It's just giving them something to talk about. Mainly, it's giving them something to talk about. But 9 times out of 10, they don't care. They don't care. And they're talking about you. You too, the one that's putting all your business on the air like that. So maintain, to me, that's a level of maturity. Number 6 says, love is avoiding misunderstandings. Hi, Jose. Let me see who else. Hi, Demetrius. So love is avoiding misunderstandings. So it is easy to have a misunderstanding when you have a conflict of opinion. So try to avoid it. Give a chance to let your partner put forward their point of view. And if they're wrong, try talking to them about why you don't think that they're wrong. So don't jump to conclusions and create a drama. This is very unhealthy to your relationship. And ultimately, love is accepting the other person for who they are. Yes and no. Encouraging your partner to achieve their dream and respecting each other is true love. Yes, that is very true. Encouraging your partner to achieve their dream and respecting each other is true love. True love is a divine feeling that gives a feeling of being complete. It is worth fighting and taking effort for each other. Love is being there for each other through the thick and thin. And love cannot be defined in words, but can be expressed through actions. Love is being someone's strength, and love can be found in small gestures. Good evening, Tanita. I just saw Jules said he's exactly what the Bible says. Seek and destroy. Yeah. That's very okay. Yes. Wow, that is something. That is something, Jules. Oh my God. All right. Jules said, I agree with that, with the 2. That's what helped my relationship. Okay, this is awesome. So now I'm going to give 4 reasons. Love. Now this is the I'm giving you the con. First, this is the pro. I gave y'all the why I feel like love is not outdated. Now I'm gonna give you the reasons why, the research reasons why they're saying that love is outdated. So love is considered the concept of love holding our culture back. Again, this is research material. So the question here is the concept of love holding our culture back. So with a number of high-profile breakups in the news, even this summer, like Jen and Ben Affleck and Miranda and Blake and Courtney and Scott, you may be feeling a little down on love. So is love dead? Come on, y'all answer me while I'm talking. Is love dead? And it says here, of course not. But we may be waking up to the ways in which the concept of love is a bit outdated for our modern times. Wow. So we're going to look at the top 4 ways that the idea of love gets us down. This is researched, guys. So number 1, it says that love is not useful. They're saying love isn't useful anymore. So the concept of love is inspiring and invigorating, no doubt, but it's not something that we know how to act upon. Tanita said, no, it is not. I agree with you. No, it is not outdated. Okay, so it's saying that it's not something that we know how to act upon. It's not a useful concept. This is the research here. And in other words, nobody knows exactly what to do to find love and then to keep it over long-term periods of time. So we're stuck wanting something that we don't know how to acquire. Without a clear understanding of how to achieve the goal of everlasting love, we are stuck spinning our wheels, waiting for eternal love to emerge from the other and find us. Wow. So again, this is researched here, and they're saying that love is outdated. The second thing finding is that they're saying that love is overused. So it says nowadays we love everything from our pets to our jobs to our spouses. And it's even common language to love something we only casually enjoy, like a certain ice cream flavor. So while we can certainly feel extreme attachment to our pets and can get immense satisfaction from our jobs, Jules said God made the whole world with love. And I agree with you. I agree with you. And again, we as Christian believers, we just have to continue to show that love is not outdated and that it is worth fighting for. So it says that while we can certainly feel extreme attachments to our pets and get immense satisfaction from our jobs, do we really love them? Do we even know what love in these contexts mean? This is the researcher. Her opinion is that we often use love as a way to express positive feelings towards something while remaining totally vague and not non-committed about why we love it. Wow. So that is the second reason why this researcher was saying that love is outdated. So number one, they found out that love is it's not useful, and number two, it is overused. Let me read this. Jules said if people didn't have a little love in them, a lot of people would be dead. You are absolutely right. You're right. I mean, from birth, they would just go on and die, because a baby coming out of the womb must feel love in order to want to stay in this world. So you're right. A lot of people would be dead. Number three said that the researcher said that love is a false sense of security. So the concept of love is so lauded or highly admired in our culture that we believe it's a quick fix for many of our modern day struggles, which are loneliness, depression, worry, and feelings of disconnection from one another. So while finding love does feel wonderful, it does not magically solve the problems that you may have in your life. We look to the concept of love as the great answer for life's woes, which makes it all the more disappointing if you find yourself with one true love and still miserable. Woo! This person who did the research. Let me go back. Her name again is, let me see. The researcher here, and you know what? I think it's still it's Lisa. Okay, Jules said, whoever did this research never had love in their life. I agree. I agree. I agree. They really, I don't think they've experienced love. I don't think they know how to give it themselves, or they're too afraid to try. So again, the first thing that this researcher said is that love, it is not useful. The second thing they said, love is overused. The third thing they said that love is a false sense of security. And number four, they found out that they said that love is a self-esteem crusher. My Lord. So this fourth, Jules said, why do we cry when we hurt people's feelings? Yeah, or why do we cry when we get our feelings hurt? You're right. You're right. Because that is whatever's going on is the absence of love. It is the absence of love. And but this is, again, I'm giving you all the pros and the cons of both of this topic here. So number four, she said that the researcher said that love is a self-esteem crusher. So this fourth reason that love may be an outdated idea is the flip side of the third reason, which is it's a false sense of security. As we extol or praise enthusiastically the achievement of finding true love, we also denigrate or we criticize. She needs to burn that Bible. Ooh, I'm telling you. We also denigrate or criticize all relationships that don't fall in the category of love. So can a person with many close and meaningful non-love relationships lead a happy life? So this was the question This was the question that the researcher said. So when you sing with love. And that's why yes. Oh, yes. Oh, and you can feel it. You can feel the love coming through. Yes, you can. So she posed the question. She said, can a person with many close friends, close and meaningful non-love relationships lead a happy life? This is what she said. Can you lead a happy life? Of course. And it's dangerous to believe that. This is what she's saying now. And it's dangerous to believe that if you've not found true love by a certain age, there must be something wrong with you. Oh, let me read this. Tanita said, love is the glue to a marriage. And if you lose that 6-figure job, what holds you? And if you get sick and can't perform sexual duties, what holds you together? And if you lose both at the same time, oh my God, love is what make you say, it's okay, I got your back. Yes. And Jules said, my God, yes, the researcher is. But Tanita, you are so true. Love goes beyond, those that are married. The vow said, in sickness and health, for richer or for poorer. You know, it talks about all of this. Until death do us part, shall we both. You know, this is a covenant. And you are absolutely right, Jules. What this lady, what this researcher is posing, this is something. She's saying you can still lead a healthy life without having true love. Of course, okay. And she's saying that people consider something wrong with you if you don't find it by a certain age. So you may come to believe that you're unattractive, you're unlovable, and maybe even worthless. And this is not a lesson that our culture should be teaching us. Instead of focusing so much of the attainment or loss of love, it could help to start thinking about relationships in terms of closeness, because closeness, which is within your control to create with one another through the acts of knowing and caring, solves many of the problems the concept of love lets linger. Wow. This is something else. So again, what this researcher came up with, she said that the 4 reasons why, she's just trying to get some money. All right, well, you know, but these are the 4 reasons that she gave, this researcher gave, why she said that love is outdated. She said love, number 1, is not useful. Number 2, it is overused. Number 3, it's a false sense of security. And number 4, it is a self-esteem crusher. Something has gone wrong in this researcher's life for her to just give up on love totally. Now, this is another research that I found concerning love and just closeness and connectedness. And this researcher here, his name is Susanna. So she talks about throughout our lives, we're giving some pretty impractical, hard to follow, and occasionally downright sexist dating advice. Now she's putting this towards dating. And she said, honestly, a lot of it doesn't even work. She said, when we forbid ourselves from doing things that feel right, we only end up feeling deprived, like diets, dating rules needlessly restrict us. So instead of imposing more restrictions on yourself, here are some rules rules we think it's time to let go of. And this is concerning love. Let me read this. So Tanita said, it's easy to get married. The hard part is staying married. I know that's right, and nothing but love. And you're absolutely right, because things do change the longer you are married. But this is why we constantly exercise, and we continue to change and implement different things into our marriage to continue to remind us why we love, why we fell in love with each other. But these people that these researchers, these counselors, these therapists that have done long-term studies on these topics, these are the things. And again, I've given you the pros and the con, the good and the bad concerning this topic here. So they've even reduced connection, marriage, that commitment down to just whatever feels good with your dating. So this is what this researcher, Suzanne, said. So number 1, this is one thing that you need to get rid of, the 3-day rule. She said, popular wisdom has it that if you go on a date or meet someone cute at a party and then text them right away, you're coming on too strong. So therefore, the advice to wait 3 days before reaching out to them, she said, I still believe in love. I do too. I do too, Jewel. But she said the advice to wait 3 days before reaching out. But since when is showing interest considered a negative trait? Last time we checked, people liked people who were actually into them. So forget about this dumb rule and text your love interest whenever you want to. And if they like you less because you took the initiative, maybe they're not the best choice of partner anyway. So the first thing she said people need to just get rid of is that 3-day rule. Number 2, she said, don't sleep with someone on the first date. Now, this is their research. This is what they're finding. She said, there's nothing contradictory about sexual chemistry and long-term potential. After all, you'll ideally have both with your, she put SO, which is significant other. Plenty of people who have sex on the first date end up in relationships. And relationships can even begin as one-night stands. Wow. So there is some research suggesting that people who sleep together quickly have less happiness relationships. So she's admitting that there is findings that people that sleep together initially, wait a minute, she's saying together quickly that they have less relationship, let me go back. They just don't have a happy relationship. But that's probably not strictly because of the sex. It could be a result of relying on it instead of working on your emotional intimacy. This is what she's saying. So as long as you focus on being intimate in more ways than just that one, there's nothing to worry about. Someone who judges you based on your sexual decision is, once again, #not worth it. Let me read this here. Tanita says, I don't have no research, but I got 32 years of marriage and reality. Trust me, that is good. That is a good teacher. Yes, ma'am. I got 25 plus with mine as well. And yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hello, Hope. How are you? Number 3, her third thing that she says should be thrown out the window. This researcher here says that only date people who meet your specific criterias. So we're terrible judges of who's best suited for us, and sometimes who things work out with can surprise us. So specific rules like only dating people who look a certain way, college educated people, or people who live near us can lead to writing off potentially great matches. So it is important to have standards, but ask yourself if your standards are helping you or just unnecessarily weeding people out. So though if your criteria include doesn't have a criminal record or pays their bills, you could probably stand to stick with them. Tanita said, I need to talk to this researcher. Yes. Now, I am going to say this because I've been giving you the pros and cons versus is love outdated. I do agree with this one. When you are connecting with someone, and if you're looking for that significant other, your spouse, you're going to have to, whatever that list that you have, sometimes what you need is outside of that list. Like most young people, you hear them say, I want to marry a young lady. I want to marry 6'2". He got to be a nice build. He got to be light skinned with good hair and all of this stuff. And that's when you're younger, you don't know no better. And then the guy's talking about, oh, she got to look like Beyonce or Halle Berry or somebody like that. And then, and that's what they look for. But I do agree with this. Don't only date people who meet your criteria, because sometimes the best thing for you may turn out to be, a lot of times it is, the person that wasn't on, everything that was on your checklist, they didn't meet most of them. So, Nahashalita, number 4 says, wait for the other person to make the first move. Now, again, this is pros and cons research concerning is love outdated. And these researchers have just dweedled love down to just a connectedness. You do better just to connect with somebody. Don't even look to love. So this is the dating advice that they're giving when you're looking for the significant other. So number 4 says, wait for other person to make the first move. And this is a guideline that majorly backfires, she said, and it is a lie. Women who send the first message on dating sites statistically have more success than men do, and supposedly end up with more attractive partners than women who wait. So it is the 21st century, they're saying. And after all, assertiveness should be a desirable quality in a woman, not a turnoff. Number 5, she says to try to be friends. She said that she said no. No. Number 5, try to be friends with your significant other's friends and vice versa. Now, I kind of, this is what she gonna say. I agree with her on this. The Spice Girls would probably beg to differ on this one. If you want to be someone's, you know what, you don't have to get with their friends and they don't have to get with yours. So it's convenient if your social groups can merge. But the important thing is that you like each other, not that you like everyone in each other's lives. So if you don't want to be around certain friends of your significant others, then they should respect that. And so this list does go on and on, because basically there are no rules, is what they're saying. Just do your thing and have fun. And if your love life makes you happy, you're probably doing it right. Wow. So I'm seeing here, I'm sorry. Tanita says, tall, dark, handsome, and you end up with short, round, and buck teeth. But that short, round buck teeth will be the best thing that ever came your way. And guess what? He can't change his height, but he can lose the weight and he can fix the teeth. So that is not an issue right there. That's something. As my pastor was telling his single people in the church one Sunday, and a lot of y'all know that I go to Bishop William Murphy's church, the Dream Center. So he said, "Don't you understand?" He said, "Don't y'all realize that short, fat, and ugly is back in style?" And he said it. He said it comically, and he wasn't trying to degrade anyone. He was not. But what he was telling them was, you need to take your glasses and clean them a little bit, and then look again, because he said you're missing out. He said you're probably missing out on the best thing that ever happened to you. He said because you're trying to stay with your criteria. Hi, Kevin. So this is the last thing. Is love an obsolete or out of date concept? Love is not just the kind of love which happens between a boy and a girl. Let me tell you who this theorist is. And you know what? This is anonymous. This is an anonymous theorist, researcher who did this. Love is not just the kind of love which happens between a boy and a girl. Love is something beyond all of this. So let's discuss love in detail. A parent's love was number 1. A sibling's love, number 2. Love between friends is number 3, and number 4 is love between two individuals, which is loves in couples. So yes, the most thought about subject whenever the word love is heard, seen, read, or talked about. This kind of love, which is an eros love, E-R-O-S love, is actually the most intoxicating, the eros type of love. So if you have ever fallen in love with anyone, then you might know how this feeling is. I'm so glad that this researcher is telling this here, because the ones above, they have not opened their hearts to love. And they're not willing to accept the good, bad, or the indifferent from it. But love covers a multitude of sins. It really does. So this kind of love, eros love, is actually the most intoxicating. And if you have ever fallen in love with anyone, then you might know how this feeling is. So this researcher was saying that they totally agree that these days people play with other people's feelings, which they do. They break people's hearts and they bruise their lives in the name of something very pious, known as love. This is what she's saying. So let us talk about people who actually experience true love. She was like, let's just overlook all of this other foolishness and let's actually talk about people who've experienced true love. You know, it is very, she said, lucky of you if you are with someone who loves you with all of your imperfections, all of your stupidity, all of your clumsiness, etc., and you love them back just the same way. A true lover, partner, or soulmate would love you. They'll fight with you. They'll push you to become a better person. They'll help you succeed in your goals. They'll make you feel special and would never give up on you. And when you get married to them, they promise your parents or your family members to take care of you, because after parents, only a life partner who loves you truly would take care of you very well. So I am so excited that this researcher found factual facts about love, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, and I'm so glad that she put that on there. Oh, that's my time. Hold on, give me one moment. That is my time. Give me one moment. And we ended right on time with this. We ended right on time with this. So let me see. I'm sorry. I see something here. Hi, Leah. So if you feel that oh, I'm sorry. That's me. Excuse me. Y'all can read that. That's me. I am so excited that the last theorist, she just overlooked all of the people's imperfections, all of the drama. She did talk about yes, that people do play games with other people, and I'm a firm believer that you reap just what you sow. So what you've done to other people, it will come back to you. Trust, it really will. It honestly will. If you've done someone wrong and you've done it on purpose and you didn't learn from it and you keep doing stuff, then yes, it will come back to you. And like I say, you'll reap what you sow in ways you never expect, when you never expected. But I'm glad that this researcher ended this research on a good note. And regardless of all these new concepts and everything else like that, she said, and she's not a Christian counselor either. She talked about how love, about true love. And so the question is still posed, because I'm going to give you the both pros and cons. Is love outdated? I'm a Christian believer, and I'm going to say every time, no, it is not. My religious or my spiritual beliefs is standards, foundation is solely on love. Love is what makes the world go round. Love covers a multitude of imperfections, sins, whatever. It does cover it. So the question is love outdated? In my opinion, it is not outdated. And I had to give you both the pros and the cons. Now, I need you all to tune in this Thursday. We're going to give a little bit more time on this Thursday with this lesson, because I'm going to be talking about, again, is love outdated? But this research that I found, it is a millennial. He's in his early 30s, this researcher. And when I tell you this, the research that he came up with is terrible. In my view, because I am a firm believer in love, but the proof and the findings and the research, the long-term research that this person came up with concerning it is no reason to love anymore, it is absolutely heartbreaking. But I'm going to go on this. We're going to dive into this on Thursday, and then we're going to really open up the platform this Thursday at 9 p.m. concerning this research. Again, I got to give you both pros and cons, and this is what I'm going to talk about and discuss on Thursday. It is hair raising. It really is. So I'm going to end this tonight. Thank you all, everyone who came on. Thank you so much for your participation. I'm going to end this with my theme song. What's love got to do with it? I do not own the rights to this song. I will see you all Thursday. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for all of your input. Thank you. And again, for coming on. Welcome, Counsel of the Day with Shanrae. All right, God bless and good night, everybody.